cameras, baby. Shut down Fox. Shut down Fox, baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone, thank you so much for being here today. Together we're raising our voices and we're calling on advertisers to drop Fox News.
Let's talk about.
Right now, it's my pleasure to introduce Angelo, the president of Media Matters, who's going to kick us off with a few words before we get going.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for coming out. This is an incredibly important moment. A lot of advertisers have dropped Fox News over the last year. One of the biggest things that we consistently hear is that there has to be more meaningful consequences. Well, right now, all of the advertisers are in this headquarters, and Fox News is trying to sell them 70% of their entire inventory for next year. It's an emergency meeting because they know that they're toxic and bad for business, and that's why all these people are out here today to send a message that we have to deal with Fox News. They're a uniquely destructive voice, and so the only way to do it, because they will not listen, is to actually go directly to the companies that are paying for what you hear every single night from Tucker Carlson and Laura Ingraham and Sean Hannity. They're probably Tommy Lahren. That's exactly right. So I thank everybody for coming out. Your voice really will make a difference. Part of the reason why they scrambled today is because they knew that we were coming. Don't think for a moment that you do not have the power to actually affect change. Fox News is losing hundreds of millions of dollars already, just in order to advance their propaganda. And today, and after today, it will be significantly more damaging than that.
And what is your name?
Angelo Carasone, the president of Media Matters. Thank you. And with that, I want to
Thank you, Media Matters.
The Daily Show. Go for it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Part of the reason I'm here, as my career has been at The Daily Show, at Air America Radio, my career has been monitoring Fox. I now am a reproductive rights advocate. And what I have to say is, this is not about whether or not I disagree with a political viewpoint. This is about the fact that all of the lies that they tell throughout their daily broadcasts have created an environment that is dangerous for
Alternative reality.
Muslim ban saying that the Muslims are terrorists, whether it's saying that the people at the borders have to be dangerous, whether it's saying that women who have to make the difficult choice of having a later abortion are sociopathic and fantasized people. We have seen what it's led to. When Bill O'Reilly started the drumbeat of Dr. Tiller back in the 90s, Dr. Tiller was assassinated. When we saw Charlottesville, we are here today because advertisers need to ask themselves, do you want the bottom line for your product to be people buying your product? Or do you want the bottom line of your investment in information to be that people are being put at risk? And that is why we're here to say to advertisers, drop Fox, be Americans, support actual real news, because what you are supporting now is hurting people and is dangerous. Thank you.
Drop Fox News! Drop Fox News! Drop Fox News! Drop Fox News! Yeah, man! Drop Fox News! Drop Fox News! Drop Fox News! Drop Fox
Thank you, everyone. Right now we're going to have Sophie Elman-Golan, who's going to say a few words as well.
Believe me, you guys!
Okay, so earlier this week, Women's March issued a call to drop Tucker Carlson. But the call is actually bigger than that, because the problem is much bigger than Tucker Carlson. The problem is this entire network.
That's right.
The whole network. I know. I want to check something. Can everyone please raise their hands if you've heard Fox News push out information about immigrants coming to rape women or Islam somehow being damaging to women, right? Okay, a lot of people.
Yes.
Now, can you also raise your hands if you've heard Fox News pushing out information about anti-Semitism in the Democratic Party? All right.
Amen.
Now, can you raise your hand if you think Fox News gives one damn about women or Jews?
No.
Now, I'm a Jewish woman, okay? And I'm going to tell you, they don't care. They don't care at all. What they like to do is they like to use us and weaponize us against leftist movements, against Muslims, and against people of color. But we're not going to buy it. Women aren't buying it. Jews aren't buying it. We're not buying it when they promote the exact same dangerous conspiracy theories about women and Jews that put us in real harm's way. We're not buying it, and we are sure as hell not buying from the companies that profit off of it.
Hello, my name is Reverend Wendy Van Allen, and I'm here because I heard the call to come out and protest Fox. It isn't just what Fox says, it's what Fox doesn't say. It's the news they don't tell.
Sports clip.
Most of the country is watching an alternative station. They don't talk about police brutality. They don't talk about black people getting killed all of the time for the color of their skin. They don't talk about white supremacists in power. They're not talking about child predators that are in power and are in the White House and are in the Trump administration. They are not putting that out. The best thing that America can do is shut off fake news. And that would start with Fox, and that would start with all of their programming. Don't watch the channel. Shut it off.
When I say foxes, you say sexist! Foxes!
Sexist!
Foxes!
Sexist!
Foxes!
Sexist!
When I say foxes, you say toxic! Foxes!
Toxic!
Foxes!
Toxic!
Foxes!
Toxic!
When I say foxes, you say racist! Foxes!
Racist!
Foxes!
Racist!
Foxes!
Racist!
When I say foxes, you say propaganda! Foxes!
Propaganda!
Foxes!
Propaganda!
I never had to push back just a little bit. One big step back! Fox News Live! Fox News Live!
Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live! Fox News Live!
Now we're gonna have Karthik from Credo here to say a few words as well!
Hey, for too long, people like Tucker Carlson and Jeanine Pirro have polluted our airwaves with bigotry, Islamophobia, and racism, all because they think advertisers will give them a free pass. On air, Jeanine Pirro questioned the loyalty of a progressive congresswoman, Ilhan Omar, because she wears a hijab. Tucker Carlson is maybe worse. On air, he's promoted white supremacist conspiracy theories. He suggested there's a genocide against white people and that immigration makes our country poorer and dirtier and more divided. He thinks the wage gap between men and women isn't a real thing, and the Democrats invented the concept of sexual harassment. Let's be clear, these aren't journalists and they never have been.
That's right. Yes.
These are mouthpieces for hateful far-right-wing ideology. Every day they pollute the airwaves with their anti-Semitism, with their racism, their sexism, and their Islamophobia. And for too long, they've thought they could get away with it because they've had free license to say whatever batshit thing they wanted on the air. That's starting to change because this building is becoming toxic. Advertisers are abandoning this network in droves because these people aren't just propagandists, they're despicable human beings who a lot of the country doesn't like. Advertisers don't want their logo next to Sean Hannity when he says a Democratic congresswoman from California is to blame after a shooter opens fire on a local newsroom in Maryland. Advertisers don't want their 30 seconds to come after a segment on Fox and Friends where the host says family separation is okay as long as it doesn't happen to kids from Idaho or Texas. And they sure as hell don't want to be tweeted at after the latest piece of reporting detailing a culture of sexual harassment in this building for decades, from the top all the way down, victimizing dozens of women as mere casualties in its churning out of right-wing propaganda. We're here to say to advertisers coming in today, don't do it. Don't take the risk because Sean Hannity and Tucker Carlson and Jeanine Pirro They're not worth it. America doesn't like them, and your business will suffer if you choose to be associated with them. Don't underwrite bigotry and take your business elsewhere. The American people will reward you for it. Thank you.
Racist, sexist, anti-gay, right-wing bigots, go away! 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 Racist, sexist, anti-gay, right-wing bigots, go away!
Yeah, man. Fuck
Drop
news.
Fox News! Drop Fox News! Drop Fox News!
Sports clip.
Drop Fox News!
Drop Fox News. 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 Drop Fox News.
Drop Fox News! Drop Fox News!
Yeah. Fuck Fox News.
Hello, everyone! Thank you so much for coming out and raising your voice and making sure that the advertisers hear you loud and clear not to advertise on Fox News. Today we have Somia, the founder of Union of Arab Women, here to share her thoughts as well.
Good morning, everyone. Actually, I'm here today to send a three clear message. The first message is for Fox News, and the second message for the people who's using this news to advertise for their business. And the third message for the people who's here and who's watching us. So the first message, we are watching you. What you are doing, what you are saying, the lies every single day. Every day you release fake statements. Every day you tell us fake stories, and you have to stop that. We are not gonna keep silent. Enough is enough. The second message is for people who's using Fox News to advertise for their business. Fox News, it's really toxic. They are promoted hate and racism. You have to stop use Fox News because it's really bad for your business. Your business is not gonna stand if you're gonna keep using this news. You have to boycott this news. The third message for the people who are hearing us, who are watching us, for all of you who make time to come and to stand with the people, especially the people of color who were under attack because of Fox News. Thank you so much for coming here. And for the people who's hearing us, you should stop watching Fox News because they are pro-agenda. They have their own agenda to promote hate and racism. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Shame on Murdoch.
That's right.
Fox News lies! 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 Fox News lies!
Fox
News lies! Fox News lies! Fox News lies! Fox News lies! Fox News lies! Fox News lies! Fox News lies! Fox News lies! Everyone, thank you so much! Now we have someone who knows Fox News and who watches Fox News every single day! This is Madeline Peltz from Media Matters, who's going to share some words with us right now!
So I watch Tucker Carlson every night, and I followed his career retrospectively and currently, and every night he goes on air and reveals what kind of a person he is. Someone whose core mission in the media is to elevate fringe white identity grievances and use his massive microphone to mainstream full-blown white supremacy and move the Overton window, which represents the spectrum of acceptable dialogue in the media, towards fascism. This is a fundamentally anti-democratic project, and it is opposed to the meager civil rights that are afforded marginalized populations in this country. And it puts marginalized communities under the threat of direct material harm. It justifies police abuse against people of color. It erases the legal status of transgender people. It seeks to roll back the civil rights of women to access reproductive health services. And it's not an issue of what it is opposed to the idea of the marketplace of ideas. It silences people. It puts people who need to be heard now more than ever farther away, in fear, scared of even the most meager form of visibility, because it will subject people to harassment, to humiliation, and there's no room for this. This isn't popular. This isn't what the people want. This is a corporate agenda, a corporate media agenda, because Tucker Carlson knows what makes money. What makes money for him is to fail upwards with his racist career that goes back decades, as we've learned this week. And racism is at an all-time high in this country, and he has escalated his racism over the course of his career. And so advertisers who appear on Tucker Carlson and Fox News generally are sponsoring fascism. They're sponsoring white nationalism. Yes. And they're sponsoring sexism.
Fox News lies! Fox News lies! Fox News lies! Yeah.
Fox is bad for business. And in the absence of editorial standards at Fox News, the last line of defense are advertisers who are paying for this, and it is up to them to walk away from Fox News, and it's up to us to let them know about what's going on at Fox.
Fox News!
So how many people know that Rupert Murdoch is not American? Okay? Why does Rupert Murdoch hate democracy? Why does he constantly create news that divides democratic countries? Why aren't we asking about Rupert Murdoch and his agenda for white male supremacy? Why aren't we talking about this?
Black power!
Who is this guy? And why does he want to continue to divide our country?
Can we give a round of applause for everyone who spoke today and shared their people from lots of different communities talking about why this organization is dangerous, it is toxic, and companies that associate themselves with this brand are sponsoring this extremism. And we need to make sure that these companies hear loud and clear that they need to drop Fox News now, and that we are watching. Let's repeat after me. Fox News. Fox News lies. Fox News lies. Drop Fox lies. Drop Fox lies.
Fox News lies! 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 Fuck Fox News, man!
Arnie.
Fox News lies! Fox News lies!
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Black power, baby.
Who wants to know who the advertisers are? Come on, listen up, guys. Nobody wants you. Here we go, guys. Take a mental note. Write notes. Post it online. Boycott these companies. Hit them where it hurts. That's how we make them go away. Here we go, guys. Liberty Mutual, Capital One, Geico, Sandals Hotels and Resorts, Nutrisystem, Novo Nordisk, Progressive, New Day USA, Sheiks, Allstate, Autograph Collection Hotels and Resorts, Publishers Clearinghouse, Sleep Number, Insure, Carvana Loca Car Dealers, Home Advisor, Lear Capital, Shark Ninja, Celgene, Jewelry Exchange Store, USAA, Hulu, Omaha Steaks, HomeToGo.com, Esurance, Lincoln, 23andMe, Ancestry.com, IHOP, Land Rover, Small Direct Club, Procter & Gamble, and Bear. And we know what Bear is. They're owned by Monsanto. So you guys know what to do. Boycott!
Fox News lies! 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 Fox News lies!
Go away! Racist, sexist, anti-gay! Right-wing bigots, 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 go away! Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna march down to the corner. We're gonna keep on raising our voices so that these advertisers hear that racism and sexism and toxicity and anti-Semitism and Islamophobia and bigotry will not be tolerated. So we're gonna march over here and then we'll disperse. Let's go! Drop Fox News! 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 Racist, sexist, anti-gay!
I'm here with Liz Winstead at the Drop Fox protest in New York City today. Liz Winstead, founder of Lady Parts Justice. Liz, can you talk about the importance of, getting Fox to stop undermining the political process, especially when it comes to women's issues?
Well, I think that all of these lies, it's like bad enough that they purport and put out into the world things that are not true, but in the process of it, it's a 24-hour drumbeat that literally demonizes humanity. Whether it's Muslims are coming here to blow up our country, immigrants are coming across the border to rape our children, women who have later abortions are baby-killing sociopaths, and the doctors that provide them are murderers. When that is a constant drumbeat, you dehumanize the people that you're talking about, and you give permission for violence. And my whole thing is, if you are going to, it's just the misinformation's bad enough, but the passion of the misinformation and the lies that it causes, when it takes away the humanity of everyone, our society is in peril. We saw it in Charlottesville. We see how they're treating people at the border. We see it. Bill O'Reilly started it by calling Dr. Tiller the killer, and did it 29 times in his shows. And inevitably, Dr. Tiller was murdered. So when you start the rhetoric of violence and you give people permission to be heroes, that is what they're purporting. And I say to advertisers, do you want the return on your investment to be buy your products, or do you want the return on your investment to be white supremacy that's destroying the lives of American citizens? And I do not think you want your return on investment to be that, and that is what it is right now.
Do you think the viewers are... do you think the Fox News viewers will receive this message?
I don't know if the viewers will receive it, but I would like advertisers to be thinking about what they want Fox viewers to learn and know. And it's not about whether or not I disagree with you politically. It's about fundamentally putting out a message that is
not correct, doubling down on destroying the humanity of people.
Thanks so much, Liz. I'm here with Tim Carr, Senior Director at Free Press at the Stop Fox News protest and rally in front of the Fox News building here on 6th Avenue in New York City. Tim, can you talk a little bit about the importance of getting Fox to stop?
Well, today's a really important day because a lot of the advertisers that spend money on Fox News Channel are here getting pitched. And they're getting pitched by Fox News executives who are basically telling them that this type of toxic hatred that you hear every night on Fox News is okay, and your products should be aligned next to that.
Do you think that, how much of an effect do you think that, attacking them in the pocketbook can have? It seems like the best things that have come from activism against Fox News have been attacking them in the pocketbook.
Well, they often like to proselytize about the wonders of the free market. So we're taking the free market to their doorstep. This is a business that runs on advertising, and they need to know that advertisers do not want their brand associated with the kind of racist, hate speech that is commonplace on Fox News every night. So advertiser boycotts are very effective, and they're very effective against this company, which really puts money before all else.
Can you talk about the effects Fox itself has had on the free press in the U.S.? I know that's a big question, but...
Well, they've had an interesting effect in many ways. One of the ways is that they spread this kind of hatred that actually silences people. To get attacked by a Fox News celebrity like Tucker Carlson or Sean Hannity actually silences speech. People are intimidated by that and the trolling that comes with it. But structurally, if you look at Fox News, if you look at the history of News Corp, what they've done is they've built a very large media conglomerate where they've bought up a lot of local news outlets, and as a byproduct of that, they often lay off local news organizations, people working in local newsrooms, and that has a tendency to affect free speech as well because it undermines journalism. There have been more and more journalists that have lost their jobs over the last decade, and a lot of it is because companies like this like to consolidate their operations and lay off local journalists.
And I'm sure they're not covering this protest. I don't think they're hanging out the windows behind us giving this perspective on what's happening. Well, you have to get this kind of journalism on ACT TV and other outlets.
I've been to my fair share of these types of protests, and Fox News often does send someone down here to get footage, but what they're looking for is the type of footage where they can say, look at these crazy people, this is the crazy left, and they don't have legitimate concerns here. But the people who are expressing their concerns are not just us outside, they're advertisers inside who are very upset by the type of rhetoric that you hear on Fox News every night.
What do you think that the people watching can do if they're obviously not here? What can they do at home?
Well, they can follow organizations like mine, Free Press. FreePress.net has been working on this issue for quite some time. Media Matters is doing a great job documenting the sort of hate speech that goes over the air and the history of hate speech by such Fox News personalities as Tucker Carlson. Go to Media Matters, lots of great information there, and get involved. Get involved in your community. If there's a News Corp-owned station there, or Sinclair Broadcast Group, which is another right-wing conglomerate, you should go and challenge their licenses or write letters to your local newspaper protesting the type of propaganda that they often air.
Thank you so much. We're speaking with Tim Carr of Free Press. You're watching ACT TV. We'll be back. Here in New York City, we are right in front of the Fox News building, where a large number of protesters got together today to tell Fox and Fox's advertisers that they're not going to stand for Fox's racist coverage and fake news, and they are encouraging Fox's advertisers to drop Fox News. You can find out more about this at dropfox.com. I'm Juliana Forlano. You're watching ACT TV. Please leave a comment wherever you're watching this, on Facebook, on Twitter, and engage in this stream. It really helps push us forward, and we'll see you at the next protest.